Hey YouTube, this is Tychonders here doing another action figure review. Now this is for the new, as of 2020, Kenner inspired aliens from Neca. And this is the one they released this recently, called the Rhino Alien. Now, if you're not familiar with the Kenner line, or the Aliens Kenner line, basically they did a whole bunch of aliens based on different animals. Originally, as far as I know, it was supposed to be a cartoon. I think it was called Hive Wars or something along those lines was going to be the title of the cartoon. Similar to what they did with RoboCop, Rambo, I think Commando was another one. Chuck Norris's Karate Guys. Whole bunch of 80s licenses, horror licenses they tried, or action film movie licenses that they tried to turn into cartoons for kids. They tried to do a similar thing with Aliens, but they never, the line never made it to actual, or the cartoon never made it to air. So Kenner were stuck with molds for alien figures, but no supporting cartoon, and then they kind of just went ahead and got the figures. They did comic books inside the packages from some of them for the first wave, just so people knew what was going on. So this one has a replica of that comic book. I'm not going to take it out of the box, I'll leave it in there, but it comes in this massive window style box packaging, unlike the other aliens from this line, which were in the kind of standard Neca blister. This one has a massive box because it is so big. It is quite a large alien figure. On flipping around the back of the box, you can see some of the aliens that they've produced for this line so far, so Mantis, Gorilla, Snake Alien, Scorpion Alien. They've also done a few Marines, a Pone being one. They have a Vasquez, if that's how you pronounce her name properly, done, but she was an Alien Day exclusive, and they also is a Ripley, which was also an Alien Day exclusive. So they have a couple of the Marines, because they did also, Kenner did Marines, Aliens, and Predators, all in the hope that the cartoon would have taken off and they would have introduced probably Predators later on in the cartoon, but that never panned out either. They've also done this classic series. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me just bring it up the top there. The classic series. These are based on the Kenner figures, directly based on the Kenner figures, as in what if the Kenner line had continued, and they've done figures based on Predators, which is the film that came out, I think it was 2010, 2014, it was the Robert Rodriguez Predators film, which I quite enjoyed. Some people didn't like it. I thought it was quite good. It introduced the Super Predators, which is what this guy is, the Berserker. And then you got the Neomorph Alien, which is the one from the most recent Alien Covenant film. At the time of this recording, it was the last Alien film technically in the Alien franchise. And then you have a bunch of the Predators that are also based on the Kenner ones. So you got Cracktusk, Spiketail, Stalker Predator, Clan Leader, the Clan Leader, and Laser Shot. Everyone from here, from Spiketail to here, are based on new Predators, the new Ultimate Predator body. Cracktusk is actually one of the older style. It doesn't have the upper waist diaphragm, or the waist joint, that the newer ones have, and it's a slight bit smaller. So I am hoping that Neca will go back and redo some of the first wave of Predators that need newer articulation, especially my favourite one, which is Night Recon Predator, and the ones that were based on the Predators figures, because the older Predators movie line, like the older version of Berserker, doesn't have any, it only has swivels on the hips instead of ball joints. So enough waffling about the box. You're here to see the Predator, or the Alien figure itself, and here it is in all its disgusting glory. So just get the old tape measure out. So in this pose, it stands around 9 inches in length from kind of the tip where the tail would be to the tip of the horn, and it's about 6 inches in height. You can potentially stand this thing up on its rear legs. If I can do it, you have to angle the legs properly and move the arms into the right position. Move the head down a touch. Make sure the feet are in the right pose. I will bring the camera back. I will have to hold him, but you can get him to stand. He's even bigger than my little review station. You can get him to stand on his hind legs, and it is about the same height as the mantis alien if you stretch it all out. It is a little top heavy, so I wouldn't recommend leaving it in that pose, because I can imagine the joints weakening in that state and just flopping straight down. Now, this thing is full of articulation points, so I will give a quick rundown of those. So, as you saw, he has dual hinged knees, so he has a hinge here and a hinge here to get that extra position. He has a swivel at that hinge. He has ball jointed feet, so you can swivel to the side, and he has a hinge on it. He has a hinge on the hip, so you can splay the leg out a bit and in. There is an upper diaphragm joint, but it is a little bit hindered by this massive body sculpt. He has dual hinged elbows, so you can get over 90 degree on the elbow bend. He also has a swivel just here where my thumb is. He has a articulation point at the shoulder to go out. He has dual hinges in the hands, so he has one at the wrist, but he also has one at the front of the fingers. This is for extra stability. He has a neck joint, so he can bring his head back this much, and he can put it down that much. And just like with all aliens, if I can get him to a more easy to maneuver pose, bear with me a second. Just need to move one thing out of the way, or two things out of the way, sorry. So I can bring him in a little bit closer to the camera. So you move the... Actually, if I just bring the camera closer to him, it might be better. So you can see the amazing head sculpt that they did. He does indeed have a mouthpiece, the extending inner jaw, and it is quite a scary head design. It has like spikes and big teeth and everything going on. And one of the other things this guy has, he's similar in the way that they did the gorilla alien, is that you have a removable dome part. What's cool about the dome is you can actually see, if I just show it in the light, hopefully you see there's cracks going through the dome, and they're sculpted differently. They're not the same on both sides, which is kind of nice. And the way it sits in, there's a little ridge here, and there's a hole for the back portion of the head, so it fits over the back portion of the head and then kind of rests in that. It's not in, like, it won't really pop out. I know some people have had issues with it being really loose, but I think it just needs to be heated up and kind of put into the right position. Mine seems to be fine straight out the box, but it is really nicely done. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any of my other aliens with me for a scale. I do happen to have one of the older Predators nearby, which is, this is the City Hunter, unmasked City Hunter. So you can just see how big this thing is next to him. It is nearly the same size as him on all fours as he is standing, as the Predator is standing up. So it is a massive alien. And for comparison time, here is the original. This is the old, if I just bring my camera back a bit, you'll be able to see it. Here is the original Kenner one. Now the the Kenner one had a gimmick that when you pressed a button on the side here, the head would spring forward, and there's a little lever on the back that allowed you to do a ramming action. And the body mold on this, which is interesting, it was reused with the Bull Alien. So the body on this was the same as the Bull Alien. I don't know if that's what Kenner will do with this, reuse the body on this and repaint it to be the Bull Alien and just redo the legs and the head. It would be nice. I'd like to see them do that. I mean, the body itself is fantastically sculpted and I think it would benefit from it. They might need to redo the tail because the Bull Alien actually has a normal alien tail with a kind of a barbed hook on the bottom of the back of it. Obviously it has a different head with bull horns and it has different feet. It has more kind of standard. In fact, the legs on the Bull Alien kind of look more like these ones, where the Kenner one had more cloven hooves, whereas the Bull Alien looks more like the ones that are actually on this current version. And then just for one other comparison, because I have this, here is the other version of the Rhino Alien from the Kenner line. Now, this is one that was released, I think, exclusively, as far as my knowledge is, I'm aware, it was exclusively released for the KB Toy Store. Or I'm not sure if they were a toy store directly, but it was KB Toys, I'm sure. It was the name of the store. And you can see the head sculpt on this one a little better than the other one. You see it has those big massive horns, spikes going out the side. And again, this also had the same ram feature. So you had the same features going on with this as you do with the original one. And it looks good on all fours. I mean, if I just angle my camera down a bit so you can see the things, you can see they are dwarfed by this new one. They are literally very small compared to the new one. The new one is quite a massive figure. It is available at the moment from Neca, direct from their store. As far as I know, it's not available yet on Big Bad Toy Store. I had it pre-ordered there, but it came into the Neca store sooner, and I kind of caved and cancelled my pre-order and went with the one from Neca, only because I'm a huge Alien fan and I really wanted this. I still have Drake. They also released the Drake Marine with a smart gun based on the Kenner version. I don't have that one yet, but as soon as I get that one I will review it. But I was stoked to get the Rhino Alien because I've seen images of it when they first released the prototype and it looked fantastic. So I really wanted to get it. And when it came available on the Neca store, I literally jumped on it to get it because it's a fantastic looking creature. QC issues, I haven't had any. I know people tend to get really annoyed that NECA stuff ends up with bad QC issues. So far, I haven't had any QC issues with the Rhino Alien, and for those who are just wondering what QC means, it's quality control issues, so paint apps missing, breakages, any of that kind of stuff. Luckily I haven't had anything like that. Loose joints, the joints haven't been too loose. In fact, straight out of the box, he wasn't too bad. Generally when I get NECA stuff, I will heat it up. So the joints are a little loosened, but this guy was reasonably good out of the box, so I didn't have any issues with him. But overall, fantastic Alien. I can't wait to see. I would imagine Bull Alien will be on the cards utilizing the same body, possible arms and legs with different tail and head sculpt. So either way, they might have to redo this piece as well because the Bull Alien doesn't have this. He has kind of standardized alien tubing, so we'll see. But overall, fantastic Alien, and I do recommend picking it up. Even if you're not a fan of the Kenner's Aliens, the Rhino Alien is just so fantastic. I do recommend getting it. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review for the Aliens Rhino Alien by NECA, and it's a Kenner inspired one. As I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.